This is Woofle's guide to the top 200 drug list for pharmacy technician and PTCB training. In this video, we'll be talking about blood thinners and cholesterol. Alongside that, we'll also be talking about insulin and some other things to do with diabetes. We will have a nice graph and a little pictures to show off. And alongside that, we will have both the generic brand names and the actual brand names for all the medication in today's video. Hopefully you like what you see. If I got anything wrong, please tell me. I am personally training for my own pharmacy technician license. I am currently a trainee, so everything I say is me learning. So if anyone has any kind of help or support in learning these things so I could get my actual certification for it, I would love to hear it. Anyways, here we go. Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna start again. We're gonna start again with anticoagulants. I'm gonna go all the way at the very top this time. Whoop. Anticoagulants. Anticoagulants. That looks like a 5. Rewrite it? Yeah, okay. So we got the anticoagulants. We're going to start with, what was it again? Warfarin was a vitamin K antagonist. So we're going to do that. We're going to do vitamin K. Vitamin K. Antagonist. Okay, so the vitamin K antagonist, we're gonna go back to this. It's called Warfarin. I already don't remember the brand name of it, but the first vitamin K, or the most popular vitamin K antagonist, is called Warfarin. It's spelled like that. Aden. So that is the vitamin K antagonist. There's only one of them in the most popular 200 drugs list, so that one would be it. So I need to rewrite that. Prevents blood clots. Blood clots. And heart attacks. Attacks caused by a pulmonary embolism. So that is the most common use cases for anticoagulants, is to prevent blood clots in the body and also prevent heart attacks that are caused by pulmonary embolisms, which a pulmonary embolism is a blood clot that travels through the bloodstream and enters the heart, blocking the pumping of blood into, all of your healthy functional systems. So the next ones were the XA, or the direct oral anticoagulants, also known as the DOCAs. So we got the direct oral. Oop, I need my eraser. Okay, so the next one was the direct oral anticoagulants. Okay. That is things like Warfarin and, not Warfarin, is things like Eliquis and Xarelto. So those are the two most popular direct oral anticoagulants. They are used to block the 10-alpha, what's it called? Enzyme, which is also responsible for blood clots. So this is a direct factor 10 inhibitor. So these are... Okay. And they're called direct oral because they go directly into they're taken orally, so by mouth. So the most popular of those ones would be apixaban and rivaroxaban. So we got a pix. This erases in my way. Aban. So we got apixaban and rivaroxaban. A ban. And you could tell they're direct oral anticoagulants by the suffix down here, aban. A-B-A-N. So we have apixaban and rivaroxaban, also known as Eliquis. Quis and Xarelto. Okay, so that would be the anticoagulants over there. There are several more anticoagulants. That one being the antiplatelet drugs, which deals with the actual inhibition of the red blood cells binding to each other, that being your platelets. And that comes down to a couple medications. They don't actually affect the clotting process. They just affect the coagulation from sticking. It's the coagulation of your platelets sticking to each other. So instead of your blood, piling up and creating that clot, they kind of slide off of each other like they would in your bloodstream. And these are usually just to deal with heart attack and stroke. So they stop the usually building of blood clots within the vein itself. So we're going to do the antiplatelet drugs. And we'll put that right below these ones. Hopefully we can still see over here. If anything's missing or you can't see, let me know and I'll fix it. The antiplatelets. They're called platelet aggregation inhibitors, but we're just going to call them antiplatelets. So the most popular ones of these ones would be aspirin and clopidogrel. Ogrel. Brand names for aspirin and clopidogrel are Excotrin, Ecotrin. And for clopidogrel, that would be Plavix. And again, sorry if any of this isn't making sense. I could do a little bit of a better job explaining this, but if you do have any questions, you could let me know, and I will try getting to you as best as I can. But for right now, we are going to now move on from the antiplatelets to, I believe that's it for all the anticoagulants within the top 200 drug list currently. I am updated to the 2025 drug list. I don't have the 2026 yet because I'm not a pharmacist. I'm a pharmacy technician right now. So we're just learning about the drugs and what their usages are. But now we are going to work on things that are anti-cholesterol. So if you have bad cholesterol, or just an overproduction of cholesterol within the body, these drugs will help you. There are several of them. The most popular of them are going to be the statins, but let us write out our cholesterol. All the cholesterol drugs. So we're going to start all the way up here. Let me grab my charger. Okay, so we're going to go cholesterol. If I spell anything wrong, yell at me. I'm very bad at spelling. think it's with an O, actually. Hold up. I don't think it's all. I think it's all. Cholesterol. Alright. Cholesterol medications. These are, very many of them. Cholesterol is a really big problem within the United States, alongside things like diabetes. So, usually if you have high cholesterol, you also have diabetes. But it's not one-in-one. It's not correlated, but usually diabetes and the overconsumption of bad foods causes high cholesterol. But your body could also cause high cholesterol naturally. So, the popular high cholesterol medications are going to be something called HMG. If I could stop stepping on my cord. HMG, CoA, CoA, A reductase, reductase inhibitors. I spelled it wrong. Grab that. Inhibitors. Okay, so these would be otherwise known as statins, and these reduce the production of cholesterol within the liver. So we have things like atorvastatin, simvastatin or simvastatin, we have rosuvastatin, These are slowly becoming more angled. We're gonna fix that here in a minute. We have pravastatin, and lastly we have lovastatin. And these are all HMG CoA reductase inhibitors. Which the HMG CoA reductase is the enzyme responsible for the creation of cholesterol. So these inhibit the enzyme for that. And the brand names for this one would be Lipitor, sorry. Lipitor. Zocor. Crestor. Pravitrol. And lastly, we have it's a dual one, so two different brands make it. It's Mevacor or Altaprev. We're just gonna put Mevacor. So these are the brand names. And these are all of the HMG CoA reductase inhibitors. So this is the good way to remember these is by looking at the prefix or the suffix statin. All of these HMG CoA reductase inhibitors have the prefix of statin. So that is a good way of remembering those. There are other types of this medication that work along the same reductase inhibitor, but these are the most popular within the top 200 list. So we're going to move down. And we are going to move on to the beta blocker, or sorry. Gonna work on beta blockers are for high blood pressure, my bad. We are gonna work on the other cholesterol medications. There's a couple others that do different things within the body. We have a medication that reduces triglyceride levels within the body, and that also reduces cholesterol. And that one would be fenofibrate. Fenofibrate. And we have one that inhibits intestinal absorption of dietary cholesterol. So it stops cholesterol from being just absorbed in the body, so it's just free floating. And that would be ezetimibe, sorry. Ezetimibe. So this one, I'll write down what they do. This one stops absorption. Where's my... of dietary cholesterol? Yep, that is terrible. Cholesterol. And fenofibrate works by reducing the triglyceride and cholesterol levels in your body. Reduces triglycerides? Forgot an L. Damn it. 1 second. Triglycerides and cholesterol. Okay, so that is what those two do. And the brand names for ezetimibe and fenofibrate is Tricor and Zetia. Tricor and Zetia. I believe it's with a T, yes. Zetia. And those are the cholesterol medications that are the most popular. Again, mostly they are prescribed for statins. At least that's what we used to do. A lot of them were filled for statin-like drugs. And we would see ezetimibe and fenofibrate quite often as well, but they're used in different circumstances. Usually alongside that of diabetes and all that, because it's more common. But yeah, these are all the cholesterol medications. Next would be, I believe, insulin. And we'll skip the insulins right now. Biguanides, BPP inhibitors. Ugh. Maybe I can't skip them. Yeah. We're gonna do these. Okay. We still have just enough space to do the insulin related drugs. There are multiple insulin type drugs out there. There is base insulin that you can inject. So things like insulin, like pure insulin, insulin glargine or glargine. I always hate saying that because I always say it wrong. They work by artificially giving your body insulin because your body naturally produces insulin. But there's different names that come about. when you're working with insulin. There are fast-acting, slow-acting, or long release insulins, but the fast-acting insulins are going to be that of Lispro and or insulin Lispro and insulin Aspart. Those are the most common fast-acting drugs or fast-acting insulins. There are also long-acting insulins for people who don't need it like right then and there, but something for like a week or a full day-long insulin cycle. That would be insulin glargine, insulin dedamir, and insulin degludec. Those are all long-acting insulins, and they again work by having that slow release, so your body can have that insulin throughout the entire day or 2-day period. Where fast-acting usually work within 20 to 30 minutes of injection, so your body can get that insulin without you struggling. It's for people with type 1 and 2 diabetes, who either can't produce insulin or whose insulin is like shot from overeating. So people who are overweight usually do take insulin because their body cannot produce it anymore because they overexerted itself. But yeah, those are the insulins. But we're gonna work on the drugs that change the insulin production in the body. The pancreas is the main hormone producer of insulin, and usually a lot of these are old medications because we've known about diabetes for a while. But yeah, so we're gonna work on diabetes medication. So we got, come on, we got sulfonyl. Is it there? It's a really big word. There you go. Let me get how to spell this. I don't want to teach you guys wrong. So I'm gonna learn how to say this real quick. These are called sulfonylureas, spelled like that. And the sulfonylureas are pretty old. They have been known about for a while, but they increase insulin release in the body from the beta cells of the pancreas. And the most popular drugs that are sulfonylureas are called glipizide. Okay, that is terrible spelling. Hold up. And we have glimepiride, which is another one. And the brand names for these medications for glipizide is known as glucotrol. Oh, keep dropping my pen. Glucotrol. And for glimepiride, it's Amaryl. And those are the sulfonylureas. There are other medications that also work by within the body that increase insulin sensitivity. Those are the biguanides. The most popular one of those being metformin. And these are all taken by mouth, so they're all just pill related. So we're gonna do the biguanides. Let's put insulin up here. Or Do I just put diabetes? Or... I'll put diabetes. 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 So these are all diabetes medication. We're gonna put a underline under that too. I'm gonna also underline this so we don't get confused. I also have to do that over here. One sec. There you go. So we're gonna get to the biguanides. So B. That's a Q, not a G. So the biguanides. These work in the body by reducing the amount of sugar produced by the liver and also reduces the amount of sugar absorbed in the intestines. So it just reduces sugar in the body, which also increases insulin sensitivity. So the one that does that would be metformin. Very, very popular diabetes drug. And this one's name is glucophage. Okay, that's coming off the page a little bit, but we're working on it. Alright. Hopefully this is all... we could all see this. I know me writing it like this is kind of hard to see, but we have these medications now. We also have, alongside of the biguanides, we have DPP4 inhibitors, which is the dipeptidyl peptidase 4 inhibitors. It's a long word, so we're just gonna call DPP4. We're gonna show off the PP. Okay. I'm not writing it out either. It's too long. DPP4. And alongside other inhibitors, these are, you know, inhibiting or slowing the activation of GLP-1s in the body, which is a hormone that the body produces, which triggers insulin, and it also can help by reducing blood sugar. Same thing with the biguanides, because it releases, or it stops the slows the production and reuptake of sugars within the body. Alongside these are also taken by mouth. They are not injectables. Unlike those insulins that we talked about before, these ones work in the body by just increasing insulin production and or hormone sensitivity for those. So a lot of these, or at least the ones that are in the top 200 drug list, all have the suffix gliptin. And that's how we know that they are DPP4s. So first we have linagliptin. And we have that. We have this. We have the suffix right there, gliptin. Next up, we have sitagliptin. And we have a combination of the two up here. A lot of drugs are combinations because they work in tandem or they do similar things. So for this DPP4, it has the base of metformin, but it also has the other drug's sitagliptin within it. So that's how we know it's a DPP4 and not a biguanide. So it's metformin / sitagliptin. And these are way easier to say if you don't say the names, except metformin. Metformin is an easy name to say. That one's pretty neat. But the brand names for these are Trigenta or Trigenta. Oop. Probably spelling that wrong. Let me make sure. Yep. Sitagliptin is known as Januvia. And the combination of metformin and sitagliptin is called Janimet. And those are all the DPP-4 insulin-based medications. Again, they work hormonally instead of through other means that would create or inhibit the production of blood sugars. These ones create the hormone of a GLP-1, which people know as Ozempic or any of the semaglutides and triglutides. Or they're not triglutides, but yeah, those increase the destruction of those within the body. So yeah, a lot of the time they're taken together with those semaglutides in the body or any other GLP-1 antagonists, which we will talk about here. They are, or analogs, not antagonists. They mimic the hormone of GLP-1 within the body, and it makes the body produce more of that, usually after eating, because that's usually when it's produced, is after you eat a meal, because all your blood sugar spikes and all that nutrients are entering the body. And they're also known as glutides or atides, and they are quite popular. We have things like, let's go over here in this little last space over here. Hopefully we could still see. Let me do it down here. Hey, beep beep. We're gonna do it right here. And these are GLP-1 analogs. LP1 analogs. So these aren't the GLP-1 in particular, but they do mimic the same hormone within the body, which is created by the GI tract, or yeah, it's produced within the GI tract. And the two most popular ones are liraglutide and duaglutide. And dulaglutide. And in this very little space that I have, duaglutide is known as Trulicity. And liraglutide is known as Victoza. Alongside this, we do have GLP-1s themselves, not analogs for them. Those are popular trizipatides and semaglutides. Semaglutides are known as, I think, Wegovy and Ozempic, and the I think the trizipatides are Wegovy. But yeah, those are very, very popular weight loss medications, and they do the same thing as this, acting on the GI tract to create more insulin, so your body breaks down those blood sugars, so it's not being, stored around the body as much. But yeah, this is all the blood clot medication, anticoagulants. We got our cholesterol medications and our diabetes medications. There are several more diabetes medications that I'm missing here, but we kind of ran out of board space, so I'll talk about them just for a little bit right now. There's something called a CGL2 inhibitor, which is a sodium sodium glucose cotransponder. They are known as glyphosides. And they cause more glucose to be excreted in the body, or excreted into the urine. So they're excreted into the out system of your body, so you're not actually reabsorbing it within your body. So it stops that sugar from being reabsorbed within the body, causing things like diabetes, insulin resistance, and fat. So that's what SGL2 inhibitors do. A popular one would be canagliflozin. I think that's how you say it. Canagliflozin is how they say it. But yeah, these are all the diabetes medications and all that stuff that you would need if you were big and fat. Just kidding. That's probably the largest list of all of them because there's just so many of them. A lot of them do have easy suffixes, again, like the gliptins and the statins and the abans over here. They all have easy ways of remembering them. The easiest way I remember them is just thinking of cholesterol being statins because stat. I don't know. It's how it works for me, and it helps me remember. The hardest ones are these DPP4s because these brand names are important, and we usually only call them by their brand names because sitagliptin I don't often see as sitagliptin. It's all usually just referred to as Januvia on prescription papers. But again, some doctors do like writing out the actual like generic name instead of the brand name. But usually, oftentimes, insurance companies like to cover the brands instead of the cheaper stuff because they're weird like that.